Zombieland Double Tap is directed by Ruben Fleischer, who also directed the first one, and is written by Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, who also wrote the first one.
Yeah. And it stars Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson, Emma Stone, Abigail Breslin, Rosario Dawson, Zoe Deutsch.
I don't know.
And this guy, which I know him from Victorious, his name is, I don't know, Avon Hogia or Jogia. I felt probably sound like really white right now. I don't know how you pronounce. I'm sorry, I cannot figure out how to pronounce that name. Before this movie came out, when I saw the trailers and just hearing about a sequel, kind of scared me. Honestly, it scared me really.
Yeah,
bad.
Especially 10 years out of the first one.
Yeah.
There hasn't been that great of a track record.
Yeah,
The sequel is doing that.
And because the first one's so fantastic, right? And I was thinking to myself, like, whenever I heard about it, I was excited, but I was a little worried. And then the trailer came out, which scared me a lot. Because the trailer didn't look that great. It didn't look like it would live up at all to the first one. And what really scared me was Zoe Deutsch's character. She's like this dumb blonde girl who wears pink, and that really scared me because she seemed like she'd be annoying.
Right, yeah.
And I want to say, thankfully, this movie is actually really good. I honestly love this movie a lot.
Definitely.
And I want to start off by saying what surprised me a lot is Zoe Deutsch's character and pretty much all the new characters in this movie. But Zoe Deutsch's character honestly surprised me the most out of all the new ones because she wasn't annoying at all, weirdly. It was really strange having that kind of character not be annoying.
Yeah, one big reason I think is because they didn't really overuse her, and kind of like what you're saying, all the new characters, they didn't overuse them to where they took over the movie, and it kind of became annoying because the original characters still are on the forefront of this movie.
Yeah, exactly.
But then all the new characters just fit in so well.
This movie is really funny. Yeah, like honestly, there's no cringy jokes. There's not really any jokes that fall flat. There are some jokes that aren't as good as other ones, but that's always in every movie, But the jokes in this movie are really good. And
the writers are the writers of the both Deadpool movies.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
They're obviously good comedy writers.
Yeah, like
it's definitely showed in this movie too.
Yeah, and it wasn't ever like jokes out of place. It was just it was kind of natural. The movie made it feel natural. The jokes in the movie, and so that is like what I was extremely happy about. I love the over-the-top zombie kills in this movie. They really do a lot more of the over-the-top zombie kills in this one than the first one. Because some the zombie kills are actually pretty great.
Yeah, and going back to the comedy a little bit, I really liked how they played on the fact that the first movie came out in 2009.
Yeah.
And so this is like anything that happened since 2009 in our world, these characters don't know about. So they do a few jokes on that I actually really liked.
I do want to say, when did Paul Blart Mall Cop come out?
Oh yeah.
I was gonna look at it because they made a Paul Blart Mall Cop joke.
I think it came out by then.
It says 2009, so it kind of depends on when the first one took place.
Yeah, which is actually kind of funny because that's a really recent movie.
Yeah,
for
exactly,
them, so.
exactly. It's like one of the most recent movies.
Yeah,
for them.
And it's kind of funny because there's that whole like TV show that was announced that was gonna happen. I think they even had like one episode that was released.
Yeah.
But it was like completely different actors.
Yeah.
But the same characters. So it was really weird. But I don't think it went anywhere, did it?
No, it was whenever Amazon, like the Amazon streaming services, weren't that big. I don't know if he was even calling Amazon Prime back then. It might have been, I'm not sure. But it wasn't that big, and it was like a time whenever they're trying to test out shows. They're putting like an episode out and see if people liked it. Right. Apparently, people didn't like it.
Yeah, it's not surprising that they didn't like it.
So it didn't go very far.
Yeah, so it's nice that we're actually having a sequel to the movie with the actual actors.
Some of the other things is that this movie also has a pretty good story. Like there's a lot of things about this movie that surprised me. Like I was expecting bad jokes. I was expecting annoying characters. I was expecting a story that was just kind of written just because they wanted to make a sequel. But this sequel really feels like it was trying to be like it really felt like an actual sequel, real sequel.
Yeah, and I will say at the beginning of the movie they do something which I'm not gonna go into because it's kind of spoilers, but there was something that I was scared that they were gonna retread on some past arcs from the first movie, but it really fit into this movie, or they really wrote it well into this movie what the character did.
Exactly. Yeah, I guess that's one thing good to say about this movie. This movie makes a lot of weird decisions that seem like they're going to be bad, but they end up being pretty good decisions. Now, one thing I may say that, take it how you want. This could be a flaw, it could be a pro, it could just be a whatever. For me, it's kind of like a whatever, but maybe a little tiny bit of a negative, not much, is that this movie, even though hilarious, it did feel like more of a joke movie. It felt more of a joke movie than the first one, because the first one, obviously, it's a comedy, it's kind of a joke movie, but it has this feeling of seriousness.
Yeah, and while I do like the new characters that they had in this movie, they were more exaggerated type of characters than the ones in the first movie.
And I don't really know if I would consider that too much of a negative. To me, it's more of like a whatever, and it was honestly enjoyable. It was really like, even though I kind of say they're negatives, it was also really enjoyable, these characters.
Yeah.
And kind of the more joke movie it was.
Yeah.
Once you understood it was more of a joke movie, you kind of roll with it, and it's really enjoyable.
And it's kind of interesting, which I don't know if it's true or not, but for some reason I feel like I heard when the first one came out, like it had like connections to Left 4 Dead 2, the video game. I don't know if it was inspired by the game or if the game was inspired by the movie, the first movie. But it's interesting because in this movie they kind of play off more on that.
Yeah.
With the whole special infected, like the zombies are like adapting into different categories.
Yeah.
I do, if they do make a third one, I hope they expand more on that, because they didn't do too much with that.
Yeah.
But it was kind of interesting, a little interesting aspect that I had in this one.
Yeah. One thing that's also I loved, and I wasn't expecting from this kind of movie, was a really cool cinematographic. So I don't know how you say it. I know it's cinematography, but whatever. Filming trick, a nice little filming trick. There's an actual like single shot scene in this movie.
Yeah, it's an action scene.
It's an action scene in the middle of this movie, and it was great.
Yeah, it has Rosario Dawson in it.
Yeah.
It has to have, she's in the Daredevil
That's
show.
true.
So she has to have a one-shot scene.
Her one-shot scenes, exactly. And so I honestly love that. I love one-shot scenes, especially if they're done correctly, and if they're done with action, it adds a nice little fast-pacedness to it.
Right, yeah. I always notice it every time they do it, because it's like such a different type of filming.
Yeah, kind of like...
It kind of immerses you into the...
Yeah, kind of like the first Kingsman.
Yeah.
Had a one-shot scene in the church, and then
Daredevil,
you know. It's always done in Philadelphia. Had a...
Birdman.
Yeah, Birdman. So I love these one-shot scenes, because they really added a really cool fast-pacedness to it, and kind of a more not really anxiety, but kind of anxiety-filled scene. One other small issue that I have, which honestly, I don't know how I need to take it with these kind of movies, especially like I said, this movie is more of a joke movie than the first one, and the first one had its fair share of stupid decisions, like by the characters, you know. But this one right here, I felt like there were like one or two times where it's like a decision of like, maybe that was a little dumb, but at the same time, they're almost kind of sort of work with the movie, because I understand why they're there, and it's more of a joke movie, like I said, so it kind of is okay, but at the same time, it's like, you know, really like you kind of already got past that in the first one of making such stupid decisions, you know?
Yeah, especially towards the end, like the climax of the movie, there's this huge thing that happens. And it happened so they could have this whole big thing at the end. Yeah. But it just felt really convenient that they did this one thing so the big thing could happen.
Especially Jesse Eisenberg's character, because Jesse Eisenberg has like 73, 74 something rules of like how to survive. And it seems like one of those rules would be not to do these things. Right. You know, these obvious things that are going to attract zombies. And so that's kind of an issue I have with it. Bringing that up, though, I do love, because the first one did it too, how it kind of brings up his rules here and there, like some like they'll do, like they'll show in the background the rule. Right. I love the way they play with the rules in this game. Yeah, because they pop up. Yeah. Oh, sorry. In this game, in this movie, they pop up a lot in this movie, and they're kind of jokes, and they're more animated. The letters for the rules are. Also, I want to say this: don't leave right after the movie. There is a mid and end credit scene. The end credit scene, I'm not going to act like you need to stay for the end credit scene unless you want to, but the mid credit scene, definitely stay for. The mid credit scene is amazing. Well, overall, guys, this movie is actually really good. I didn't really have many flaws with it. If you're going in there expecting it to be as good as the first one, why, first of all? But second of all, it's not. It's not. Don't expect to be as good as the first one. The first one is fantastic, but this one right here is really a worthy and solid sequel. I'm going to say that Zombieland Double Tap is 85% awesome.
Yeah, like Marquez said, this movie, in my opinion, definitely wasn't as great as the first one, but I don't think anybody was expecting that. Yeah. So the fact that it was so great was a nice surprise for me and for Marquez. It was actually decently hilarious.
Yeah.
Most of the time, just there was times where I didn't feel like it lived up to the first one, but overall, I feel like it was just a solid and great sequel to the first one. I'm gonna say that Zombieland Double Tap is 80% awesome.
Well, guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, comment and let us know what you thought about Zombieland Double Tap, and rank them. Let us know which one you like better, Zombieland Double Tap, and tell us why in the comments.
And don't forget to follow us on social media. We have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all at 2 Awesome Men.
And as always, thank you so much for watching, and you will see us later.